This small airplane costs less than $1 in material, takes only a few minutes to make, and can be sold as a complete DIY kit for around $20 to $30. Today, I will show you the entire process, from preparing the file and cutting the parts, to assembling, packaging, and selling the finished product. Welcome to Day 3 of the 100 Days 100 Laser Products Challenge. Today, we are making this laser cut airplane puzzle. I have sold similar DIY kits, and this type of product works well because it is simple to produce, easy to package, and interesting for both children and adults. For this project, I am using 3mm MDF again. It is inexpensive, cuts quickly, and is strong enough for a small model like this. Before cutting, we first need to check the joints in the file. Even when the material is sold as 3mm thick, its actual thickness can be slightly different. The laser also removes a small amount of material during the cut. Because of that, I usually make the slots slightly narrower than the material. This creates friction between the parts so they stay connected without glue. Do not reduce them too much because the pieces could become difficult to assemble or the MDF could break. The best option is to cut one small test joint before cutting the full design. The parts that connect through slots should fit firmly, but they should still be easy to assemble by hand. Some elements in this design need to be glued instead of inserted. For those parts, I use a small amount of super glue because it bonds almost instantly and allows me to continue assembling without waiting for wood glue to dry. Only use a small amount. Too much glue can spread across the surface and make the finished product look messy. Once the file is prepared, I arrange all the parts closely on the MDF to reduce waste. This product uses very little material, which is one of its biggest advantages. The total material cost is below $1, and several kits can be produced from a relatively small sheet. Because the cutting time is also short, it is possible to make a larger quantity in a single production session. The first operation is scoring. The lines you see on the wings and other parts are not supposed to be cut completely through. They are only lightly marked onto the surface to add detail and make the finished airplane look more realistic. Make sure these lines are set to score instead of cut. If the same power is used for everything, the laser could separate parts that should remain in one piece. After the scoring is complete, the laser starts cutting the outlines. The correct speed and power will depend on your machine and your MDF. The goal is to cut cleanly through the material without using more heat than necessary. Too much heat can create darker edges and smoke marks, while too little power can leave the pieces partially connected. Always test your own material before producing several kits. After all the airplane parts are finished, I also cut one outer shape around the complete layout. This gives us a single flat board that holds every piece in position. Instead of collecting the parts and placing them loosely inside a bag, we can leave them inside this board and package the entire kit as one clean unit. This makes the product easier to organize, store, display, and ship. It also helps the customer see that the complete set is included before opening the package. Now we can assemble the airplane. I start with the main body and connect the parts that use friction joints. Because the slots were adjusted correctly, the pieces fit firmly and stay in position without glue. The parts that are not designed as interlocking joints are attached with a small amount of super glue. The complete assembly is simple and does not require special tools. That is important because the customer should enjoy building the product, not struggle with it. After connecting the wings, tail, and smaller details, the airplane is complete. We started with a flat piece of MDF and turned it into a small, three-dimensional model. It is light, inexpensive to produce, and compact enough to package and ship without high costs. This product can be sold as a ready-to-assemble DIY kit. The customer receives the flat board with all the parts and follows simple instructions to build the airplane. You can include a printed assembly guide or add a QR code that opens a short video tutorial. The production cost is below $1, but once the product is properly packaged and presented, it can realistically be offered for around $20 to $30. The customer is not paying only for the MDF. They are paying for the design, the activity, the assembly experience, and the finished model. You can also expand this idea into a complete collection. Instead of selling only one airplane, create several different models. You could add other aircraft, vehicles, animals, or small buildings and sell them individually or as a bundle. This turns one simple product into a series of collectible 3D puzzles. The airplane could also complement the dinosaur puzzle from day one. Both products use the same basic idea. flat, laser-cut pieces that the customer assembles into a three-dimensional model. That makes it easier to create a recognizable product line with consistent packaging and presentation. This is the finished product for Day 3 of the 100 Days, 100 Laser Products Challenge. The file will be available through the link in the video description. I will see you in Day 4.